Salut à tous et bienvenue dans Story Série, saison 2, épisode 23.
Aye.
Cette semaine, nous avons le bonheur de recevoir une figure légendaire de la série américaine, un acteur qui a tout vécu.
His name is Head. Dick Head.
Des débuts de HBO avec Oz et The Wire à l'invasion zombie de The Walking Dead, Seth Gilliam. « 30 ans de carrière, 40 rôles et toujours la même passion, Seth Gilliam a le recul et la sagesse des acteurs qui n'ont plus rien à prouver.
Wow, no pressure.
Pour nous, il replonge dans ses souvenirs des rues de Baltimore à son coup de foudre pour 6 Feet Under.
Indeed.
So maybe we could go back in time before we talk about The Walking Dead and go back to Oz, if you're okay with that.
Sure.
Because it was the first HBO drama, which means it was the show that decided, in a way, what the boundaries of HBO will be for the next years. How did it feel being on this show? Did you ever feel like, damn, we're going very far in this?
I often felt like, wow, this is going to be on television. Okay, that's cool. Let's see if they'll allow it. It seemed like, you know, it was a hardcore show when we were shooting it, and it holds up as a hardcore show. It remains such. To say that there was a lot of violence and man love that we have yet to see, I think, on American television again, I think.
If you walk through the garden.
After Oz came The Wire, which is still, nowadays, even though we've had Breaking Bad, Lost, The Sopranos, whatever you want, it's still the #1 show to any critics, to Barack Obama. Did you feel this when you were shooting it, like what we're doing there matters?
For me, the experience was shooting it in a bubble.
What the fuck, man?
Driver, with the right hand, reach the window and open the door.
Come on, hurry up, man.
Step out of the car. Drop the cane. Toss the cane. Come around to the back. All right. Turn around.
Sir, is there anything in the vehicle we should know about?
Nope. This money right here, I didn't just pull this out of your truck.
What money?
Not many people were watching it when it was airing.
Yeah.
You know, we had to, it was the days of having to hand out videotapes, you know, DVDs of it from friend to friend. There weren't box covers of it where we could get it and absorb it. So we were playing to maybe 2 million people a week. 1.8 million people a week, I think. So it felt very much like we were shooting it for ourselves and the city of Baltimore.
Yes.
It didn't feel like it was any larger than that. It felt like we were doing a show about Baltimore, in Baltimore, for Baltimore, and that was pretty much it, and had no idea about the impact it would have on the world.
You follow drugs, you get drug addicts and drug dealers.
Get hands up! Get down!
But you start to follow the money, and you don't know where it's going to take you.
And how did the shooting mix with the city? Because it's being in reality, it's meeting with the people living there, and I guess having conversations in between takes.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it was like for David Simon, you know, whether he met some resistance from people being kind of, I don't know, revealed for who they were in terms of the higher-ups, the city officials, and that kind of thing. I don't think the mayor was too excited about shooting The Wire because it wasn't the greatest light of Baltimore. Didn't paint the city in the greatest light, but at the same time, it brought a lot of jobs to the city.
Yes.
But for me, working down in the streets, what they would do is, like, the security detail would hire the local kids from the neighborhood to help us run security. So they would be checkpoints. So instead of standing around watching and having nothing to do and interrupting, they were an active part of making sure we could get it done. And you give them a sense of responsibility, and it was amazing what we were able to do in the places that we were able to shoot that other people didn't have access to, because they came in very much as outsiders and intruders and wanted to keep it very separate. And we came in and we were like, well, we don't know how to keep these hoppers down. Can you talk to these hoppers and keep these people down? We need them, you know, quiet for 5, 10, 15 minutes. And, oh, yo, you gotta shut this down for a minute, blah, 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 blah. And things would get done.
All in the game, yo.
I think the casting department did a fantastic job of casting the entire show all throughout, because there are no false moments.
True.
You know, because I think everybody was playing for the truth as opposed to vanity or, you know, or it's a job or it's a chore.
Is it different when you shoot like a show like The Walking Dead, when you know the audience is here? It's not a bubble. It's the opposite of a bubble. Do you feel different?
It is a little different. I feel a little different, bit of a responsibility to it, you know, knowing that that people are watching en masse, and they have very specific ideas about why things should be and where they should go and who you should be. So it helps to lock you in more to playing the truth of Father Gabriel.
I've killed before, but that's not my gravest sin. I locked my congregation out of my church when this all just started. I listened to them die as I cowered. I failed them. I failed God. And every day, I work to lessen that failure, to be of service and purpose.
What was it you found in Gabriel that you felt connected to?
His lack of self-forgiveness.
Oh, really?
Yes, I thought was interesting for someone who professes to be a person of faith, to not be able to forgive themselves. I thought, you know, well, that's some serious inner conflict, human stuff. That'd be fun to play.
And that's heavy to carry, though.
Yeah, it is, and yet somehow he does.
Do you feel pressure from the fans? Because it's always good to have a faithful, geeky fan base, but it's also people who don't forgive easily.
No.
If you do something they don't like or they're disappointed by, or...
No, I have an interesting relationship with the fan base because they didn't trust the character, and then they didn't like the character, and then they hated the character because they felt like he had betrayed Rick and the group. Now they say that they love the character because they see the evolution of the character. So, but for me, it wasn't, you know, hey, I'm on the show, isn't it great? It's got millions of viewers and they love me. It was like, hey, I'm on the show, we have millions of viewers and they want me dead.
God.
You know?
What you're about to do, it's my fault. Sorry. You asked me for help. And I hope you can forgive me someday. Just like I forgive you. I forgive you, and whatever you have to do.
If you look at your career, and you've been part of many, many shows, many experiences, do you see any backbone, any red line you follow when you pick a role, whether it's for one episode or 17 or 50?
I don't really look for a commonality in characters. For me, it's I don't want to play the same role twice. And I've been fortunate enough not to really play the same role twice, you know.
Which is exceptional because you've had many.
Yes, I've been very fortunate, yes.
How do you prepare? Do you prepare differently when you're let's say, a guest? You come from one episode, and when you know it's going to be for a whole season, you don't know what's going to happen next, but do you feel your implication is different, your preparation is different? Do you have any tricks to come along with everyone when you have a week with them and then you have to go?
No, my preparation is the same. I prepare for each role depending on what the demands of the role are. I prepare, it's pretty much the same. If I'm a guest star, then, you know, personally, I might not be as open, you know, when I'm on set, just because I know I'm only here for a week and I don't want to make friends and lose friends.
Is there any role you've preferred? I know it's like choosing maybe one of your kids or something like that, but any role you feel is more important or more, you feel more love for that you've had?
Yeah, it is like choosing one of your kids. I did love Sergeant Ellis Carver on The Wire.
I go in, play nice. Then you come in, play bad.
I ain't gonna be playing.
And you had a great dynamic because it was a duet.
Yeah, with Dominic Lombardozzi, who played Herc, who was fantastic.
What you want?
I want for you to suck my dick. You supposed to be the good cop, dumb motherfucker.
We lived together the first season. We shot the shows because, you know, police partners often they say that they're closer with their partners than they are with their spouses.
Yeah.
So we decided we'd live together and played a lot of John Madden football and had a lot of late night conversations. And I think a lot of that comes across on screen.
Yeah.
The comfortable.
They're like brothers.
Yes, yes. And so those kinds of things are reasons why I would probably say Sergeant Carver, but I don't take roles I hate, you know? There's always work at the post office.
When you look back, and I mean, you've been in the business since The Cosby Show.
Yeah.
The television has changed. I mean, it's nothing to do with what it was at that time. What are to you the biggest moments where you thought, okay, something is changing. Television is not a shameful place to be anymore?
When they started cursing on American television.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. When I started hearing shit and damn, it's like, whoa, that's something that it was definitely, those were cutaway moments in the 80s. I think in terms of the material that came along, I was kind of fortunate enough to be a part of those things, you know? So I didn't really see them coming so much as kind of rode the wave.
It must be crazy to know that you're part of a revolution.
It's a little surreal.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Something like that?
Am I dead? Is that what's happening? I'm dead? This is some kind of dream I'm living over? Or you? Okay.
Were there any specific shows that watching them you thought maybe I wish I was in there, or this is a stepstone to something new?
6 Feet Under seemed like, you know, a very different kind of show. I love the storytelling in that. I would love to have been a part of that at some point, guest starring, walk on and jump off a roof and then tell my story or something. That would have been cool.
And something like Game of Thrones, for example, is it something you'd like to do?
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
You're this person.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
How comes?
I missed it when it first started. Everybody was watching it. I didn't want to, you know, try to jump in and catch up. And then it got too late, and I figure when it goes off the air, I'll get the DVD box set and I'll power watch it.
Yeah, and it was 8 years ago.
Yeah, and now I think it's just still rolling and rolling. It's like it's never going off. So, you know, I'll have my Game of Thrones experience in a few years.
Thank you so much.
The faith there, yeah. So
yeah. It was so great meeting you. I'm so happy.
Thank you, Charlotte. Yes.
Story Série, c'est terminé. La semaine prochaine, on vous dit tout sur Le Nom de la Rose, la série événement adaptée du roman de Umberto Eco, vendu à 50 millions d'exemplaires.
Only we are allowed to get through that door. It's a labyrinth. Anyone who enters it will be lost.
Et nous serons bien entourés puisque les acteurs Rupert Everett et Richard Sammel seront de la partie.
On vous rase quand vous voyez une eau.
Allez, à la semaine prochaine.
Are the Antichrist! I see gold everywhere, but in you, bastard son of Satan!